What is happening? Jason right here, coming back to you with another screen share video. This video, I'm going to talk to you about the difference, the pros and the cons, the when to use each for unsubscribing contacts versus deleting them. What an interesting topic. So, when people are new to ActiveCampaign, their initial thought around getting rid of contacts usually has to do with the plan limit. So, let's say you're on an ActiveCampaign plan, the limit's 1,000 contacts, and you upload a list and there's 1,100 contacts. So what people might see is they might see, the all is everybody. You might see 1,500 total contacts. You might have 1,100 that are active on a plan of 1,000. So when you're over the limit like that, ActiveCampaign won't send out automations. It won't send out campaigns. You got to either upgrade or get rid of your contacts. So everybody always wants to delete contacts. Now, what's interesting, ActiveCampaign has really strict and limiting rules around deleting contacts. You can delete them, but you can't do that many in one day. So let me show you. So we'll delete a contact here. Select a contact. So you hit one button, right? There's one click. 2 clicks. 3 clicks. Person deleted. But if you email a bunch, there's limits and it won't only let you do so many a day. So an easier way, if you're thinking about deleting contacts just for this reason, trying to get the active number below your plan threshold, here's an easier way. Watch this. 11 contacts that are active. I'm going to edit all. I'm going to unsubscribe them from the master list because I think that's where they're all at, and apply. Let's see how quick they'll update. I'll go look at the master list. So 6 of them, let's see. 6 of them were removed, which is pretty weird. I don't know why they weren't all removed. But here's the point. I got that active number. So if somebody is unsubscribed from all lists, they become inactive. Okay, so you could unsubscribe everybody from all lists, and that will quickly get this active number down below threshold. So you could still have, in my example, 1,500 people in the account. As long as that active number is under 1,000, you're good. So that's the quickest way if you go over and you don't want to upgrade or you can't afford to upgrade or whatever the case may be, you get that active number down is to unsubscribe a large group of people from all lists. Okay. Why would you want to delete people? So deleting people, in my opinion, there's a couple scenarios. One, if I go into my account and I go to contacts, and I do this once in a while, and I check the status, and I go to bounced, anybody who's hard bounced, meaning they will never receive another email at that email address, shows up here. In my view, if I can't email you, there's no value having your data in here, so I delete you. Okay? You can delete people out for hard bounces. Now, why would you, I guess on that same line, the other reason you'd want to delete contacts is if you have a group of people that have, say, unsubscribed from all your lists by their choice, and, if they're not current clients, you may delete them out because you just don't want their data. I don't want their data in here. We live in a world where data leaks and stuff happens. Kind of minimizing that exposure is one thought. The other thing is you might have somebody that unsubscribed from all lists, but there's valuable data on the CRM side of things that you might need down the road, right? Maybe they bought one of your products or services in the past, and you might want to keep that data. So even though you can't email them now, maybe you have a valid phone number and you want to call them or text them in the future, but you can't email them. So there's different scenarios for that. But generally, when I'm thinking of generally when I delete a client, it'd be for 2 scenarios. One, their email is a hard bounce. It's never going to receive another email. I'm going to probably get them out of the account. 2 is if there was, a group of people I was cleaning up, they were inactive, maybe I'd delete those just to get the data out. But more times than not, The unsubscribe is the option you want if your goal is to reduce the contacts based on your plan limit. So hope that makes sense. Some other ways you can delete contacts, and I've seen people do this by mistake, and this can cause big problems. So if we go to contacts and we don't do it individually, and we actually go to the lists, all right, and let's say you're going to delete a whole list. Okay, let's look at this test list. So you got to do a lot to delete a list. You got 1 click, 2 click, and then it's real clear. If you delete this and contacts are only on this list, they're all getting deleted. All right, you get all these clicks. So there's no like, oh, I did this on accident. Then you hit delete, and then I've seen people do this and lose 90% of their database. That active number's already dropped. So be very careful deleting lists. So like what you would do in that scenario, if you wanted to delete a list because you don't want to use that title anymore, make sure all those contacts are on like your master or your weekly list first. And then if you delete that list, you don't have to worry about losing contacts as well. But again, if you have contacts that are only on the list you're deleting, you delete that list, you're going to delete those contacts. And ActiveCampaign's not going to restore them for you. I had one situation where I saw this happen, and it was an absolute worst case scenario. Bad news. Bad news. It wasn't any fault of mine or my team. To this day, I'm not even sure what happened, but I have a feeling it revolves around the scenario I just told you. Somebody deleted a list, didn't realize because they didn't read the print, they just checked all the boxes, didn't realize that they deleted a whole bunch of contacts, like 70-80% of them with that list deletion. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense as to why you'd want to unsubscribe. Other ways you might unsubscribe people, if somebody like replies to an email and says, hey, don't ever email me again, you can go in and unsubscribe them yourself, right, individually. So if that were to happen, you could pop in here, and let's say they were on the master contact list. So I'm going to add them back on just so I can make this point. Say this guy, this Jason Wright guy, said, don't ever email me again. He said, okay, come here, unsubscribe, done. You can unsubscribe him. For me at this point, based on his other stuff, I'm probably just going to end up deleting his contacts. I have no interest in having the data in here. Now, sometimes what you'll find is you'll unsubscribe people or delete them. They may opt back into your funnel. They may show up again in the future and repopulate. So it is what it is. All right, hope this video was helpful. You're almost at the finish line, my friend. Got one more video to keep things simple and clear for you in this section coming up next.